Freedom in America.
Freedom in America Radio Network, presenting the traditional view of the good old American dream that you won't hear about on the liberal media.
Freedom in America.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that has guts enough to tell you exactly the way it is? It's Billy Van Horn. Hi, this is Billy Van Horn, and once again you're listening to the Billy Van Horn Show. We have an awful lot to talk about today, and we're going to get underway in just a minute, but first of all, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the
Wow. I'd like to thank Sisters for allowing me to use their rendition of our national anthem on my show. Check out sistersmusic.org. They've got all kinds of products, and you could book them for a concert at your church or organization. I've heard them in concert, and they are fantastic singers, as you just heard. So check them out at sistersmusic.org. Thank you, girls. Okay. In July, I did a 2-part series on Obamacare. And during those 2 shows, I had explained that I had gone to a local facility, a county and state agency, when you need help with an electric bill or a phone bill or whatever. And of course I explained that they said bring copies of your bills and we'll definitely be able to help you out. So I went, took my bills, they made copies, and they said, we have another appointment, we're going to give you, this packet, take it home, read it, fill out the forms, and send them in the mail, and you'll get all that will take care of it. I'm like, okay. And then I said that, I had explained to them why I could not pay my phone and my electric bill that month and needed help because of the extra charges the hospitals were charging. And I said, this is all because of Obamacare that these prices are going up. I'm not on Obamacare, nor would I ever be on Obamacare. But I said, I'm on Medicare because I'm disabled for 11 years with congestive heart failure and whatnot. And they kind of looked around the room and they said, well, yes, it is because of Obamacare. I said, yeah. They are fining doctors and hospitals continuously for this, that, and anything they could think of. So the hospitals and the doctors and the insurance companies and the Medicare Advantage companies are raising their prices. And they said, yes. And then they looked around the room again and they said, let me give you a piece of advice. They said, do whatever you can to make extra money, because it's going to get much, much worse. Now, you may remember me telling you that in July. On Friday, September 27th, I got in the mail from my Medicare Advantage program a letter. Now, first of all, let me explain to you, for those of you that are not on disability or Social Security income, this is how it works. When you apply for disability, there's a 6-month waiting period for you to get any money. And then once you get approved and you get the money, they pay you retroactive for the 6 months that you waited, which, is nice. But it's horrible to go without an income for 6 months. I lost my home and my vehicle over that 6-month period 11 years ago. And then, once you're approved for disability and you're receiving it, there's a 2-year waiting period for you to get on Medicare, which the government pays 80% of your medical bills. Now, it's not welfare. This is money that you have paid in your entire life that has been taken out of your check. It's a part of your Social Security. And, so you're not getting something for nothing. But then you have the option, because if you're in a situation where your income from disability or Social Security is not very much, you could get a Medicare Advantage program, an additional insurance that will pay the 20% that Medicare does not pay. And you also have the option, if your income is low enough, to go to Medicaid. And Medicaid is the state that you live in that pays your monthly premiums or, helps you out with whatever. And some of the medical advantage programs, if you're on Medicaid, then there's no charge to you. Well, in my case, I have a Medicare Advantage program. And it was free, no monthly fee, and I would pay $2.65 per prescription. It was $5 to see a primary care physician, $15 to see a specialist, and $65 to go to the emergency room. And then if I was hospitalized, I would pay $75 a day, up to 10 days, and then after that, it would all be paid for. As soon as Obamacare kicked in April, it went from 0 monthly premium to $43 a month. It went from $5 for a primary care physician to $10, doubled. It went from $15 to see a specialist to $30, doubled. It went from $65 to go to the emergency room to $95, not quite doubled. And it went from $75 a day, or $750 deductible, to $1,350 deductible in April, when Obamacare kicked in officially. Now, this letter that I got on Friday, September 27th, said your deductibles are going up and I would still pay $10 to see my primary care physician, but it went to $35 to see a specialist. Well, I wasn't really all that concerned about that. And then they said you would still pay $2.65 per prescription. However, you will be billed, in addition to your $43 a month, an additional $95 a month for you to get your prescriptions. $95 a month. That figure might as well be $95,000 a month to me, because I can't afford an extra $95 a month. Think about the elderly that are going to have to scrape up $95 a month. And I asked them, I called them as soon as I got that letter on Friday. I called them and I said, what is this? Are you really serious that I'm going to have to pay an extra $95 a month in order for me to get my prescriptions? And they said, yeah. Now, think about the elderly and the disabled, regardless of their age, that are on a fixed income. How do you think they're going to scrape up an extra $95? And I asked them, is this because of Obamacare? And they said, yeah, it is. I said, okay. Are there any alternatives? Are there other programs that are going to be enacted or started to help with this extra $95 a month? Not that we know of. No. I said, okay. So that is part, a huge part, of what these people told me back in July. It's going to get much, much worse, and do whatever you can to make extra money. Now, Obama is taking credit for the oil prices dropping, and he has nothing to do with it. But you mark my words, after November 4th, after the election, the oil prices for home heating fuel are going to go through the roof. I have no proof of that. That is my prediction. And people are going to be paying $5 and more per gallon for home heating fuel, which means they're going to either freeze to death or come January 1st, die, one way or the other, die because they can't afford $95, which starts January 1st, 2015, to get their prescription drugs. I don't know what I'm going to do. Do you see what this administration is doing? Do you understand what it is I'm telling you that's going to happen? They are trying to eliminate the weak, the elderly, the poor, the disabled, including our American veterans. They want to just let them die so that they have more money to spend. Well, illegal aliens are coming into this country and not paying a damn penny for their homes, health coverage. They don't pay anything. They've never paid a cent into the system. I did for 40 years. They never paid a penny into the system. Yet they are getting everything for free, including medication, through the welfare system, because the Obama administration and the demonic rats, as I call them, want the votes. And they want the Muslims here, and I'll get into why they want the Muslims here when we come back.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by CitizensUnited.org.
Okay, we're back. Now, before I get into the Muslim thing and why Obama and this administration wants them here, let me touch up on a few things first. I never did tell you what was in the packet, and I did in July, but I didn't tell you what was in the packet that this state and county agency gave me after they took a copy of my electric bill and my phone bill. I got home and I opened up this packet. You're not going to believe this. It was an application for an Obama phone for emergency use only. They didn't pay my bill. I had my phone and my internet disconnected for a month. They didn't pay my electric because I didn't pay my phone bill. I was able to pay my electric, but I couldn't pay both. And I certainly couldn't pay all of the phone bill. And that's still being investigated and looked into because they were charging me for services I never had. This miscellaneous fee and that miscellaneous fee and other things that I'm not going to get into. But that's their solution. Go to the author of the problem, Barack Hussein Obama. Go to him and get a phone for free from him. That's the solution to your I don't have a phone problem. Do you see how they think? Go to the founder, the author of the situation, of the trouble that we're in, and depend on him for the answer to your problem that he caused in the first place. What makes these people think that way? Back to the topic at hand. I said that they want the elderly, the disabled, what they consider to be the dregs of society, the people that pull down the society. Not the illegal aliens that are coming in. Oh no, they're voters. We're Republicans. We're conservatives. Am I saying everybody that's on disability or elderly or a Vietnam vet a Republican? No. But they're a pull on society that is not useful to their purpose. It's only draining money from their system. So let them die. If you're not on disability or Social Security, your rates are going up anyway. When you have to go to the doctor and get tests and everything else, hospital care, whatever, you'll see. It's just not a reoccurring expense for you as it is for us. But once we're eliminated and the middle class and the elite are left, they want to wipe out the middle class as well. This is all perfectly made clear and out in the open in Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. Have you noticed in your towns and cities, mostly in the smaller cities, that they're putting banks on pretty near every corner and a pharmaceutical company on every corner. And if they're doing any building at all around your area, it is apartments, big apartment complexes, and most of them have shops on the ground floor. The reason for that is sustainable development, to save the earth, so that you don't have to own a car anymore to go anyplace. That's what they want. You could get in your little electric car, your little, I don't know, it looks like a refrigerator, I forget what they call it. Those little things that I wouldn't be caught dead in because, God forbid, you hit a dog or a deer, the car would be totaled. But that's besides the point. What I'm telling you is that they want everybody in the urban areas, not in the country. And they're trying to wipe out the farmers with Monsanto taking over all food production and water production from other companies. And they won't even let you collect rainwater. They won't let your cattle drink from ponds. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous and more ridiculous. And see, they're going after the middle class next. Now, you're probably wondering, well, okay, Billy, if you're so smart, how do you think they're going to get rid of the middle class? That's why they're letting the Muslims in. You see, they're letting the Muslims in, the radical terrorist Muslims, to come in and destroy and kill. And once the middle class is wiped off the face of the earth, then they'll kill the Muslims. And it will be the elite, the rich. They want 3 billion people on this entire planet, and that's it. And that's the game plan. I know you're thinking, oh, brother, this guy is really out there. Conspiracy theorist number 1. This guy took the course. Oh, no. It has been out there wide open. What they want to do, spelled out word for word, what they plan on doing since 1910. It's been out there. Now, you've heard our presidents, Obama, Clinton, George H.W., Herbert Walker Bush, Henry Kissinger, and I could name hundreds more of politicians say one world government, new world order, one world money system, cashless buying system. And that's what they want. And they want to be able to control everybody. And that's why the Food and Drug Administration is allowing the pharmaceutical companies to fill their pockets, manufacturing drugs that are killing us, making our children retarded, autistic, deformed, while they're pushing for abortion. It's all crystal clear if you look for it. It's out there. It's all over. But you see, most people in the United States say, I can't, no, I can't believe that. I can't believe our government would do that. I don't want to believe that. Billy, stop talking. I don't want to hear it. Well, if Billy stops talking, it's still going to happen. Now, what could you do to make a difference? Stand up. Let your voice be heard. You know what they're trying to do. One world government, one world religion. And maybe that will be the Muslim faith. I don't know. But you see, if the Muslims come in and kill off a whole bunch of people, the United States government is going to go, oh, gee, That was Obama's fault when he was president and he left the borders open and he was a Muslim and he wanted all them in here. And it was the Muslims that killed everybody, not your federal government. We're here to protect you. And that's what the Bible says. That when they talk peace, 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 the end will come. I'll be back after this break. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, wait, justice for all? 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 Let's face the truth. In America today, we receive just as much justice as we could afford. The largest expense you may ever face today is not hospitalization or even purchasing a home. It is being sued in a court of law in this ever-increasing litigious society. In fact, in the year 2008, 34 million people were hospitalized. But in that same year, 103 million people were in court. You are 3 times more likely to be in court than you are to be in the hospital. The fact is, we've all become accustomed to just take it and suffer the loss when we get overcharged with hidden fees, ripped off, or wronged in any way. After all, you can't fight them all, right? Wrong. Who can afford $300 an hour to talk to an attorney? Well, Legal Shield has been leveling the playing field since 1972. We have brought equal justice to over 1.4 million families and 47,000 businesses all across North America and Canada through a network of already established law firms for $20 a month. Our Family Life Events legal plan includes a comprehensive will for you and your spouse, updated annually, a living will and power of attorney, updated annually, unlimited calls to your law firm, unlimited subjects discussed with your law firm, letters and phone calls made on your behalf from your law firm, 24-hour emergency contact with your law firm, 24/7, 365 in case of an emergency, IRS audit restoration, family member coverage up to 18 years of age and any never married dependent or college student up to age 26, document and contract review, motor vehicle violation and protection and consultation, and up to 300 hours of trial time. An attorney from your law firm must return your call with legal advice within 8 business hours. So never get ripped off again and enjoy peace of mind. Legal Shield also offers legal services and protection for your business and identity theft protection in all 5 areas of identity theft. For more information, go to www.billyvanhorn.legalshieldassociate.com. That's www.billyvanhorn.legalshieldassociate.com. Okay, we're back. And one thing that I thought was very important that I tell you was when I said sustainable development, they only want 3 billion people on the face of this earth. The last time I checked the world population clock, it was 7,200,000,000. So they want to wipe out more than half of the world's population for their sustainable development. 3 billion max. That's what they want. Now, something else. When I was talking about Medicare and Medicare Advantage, Medicare is not free. It is money that we paid in, a part of our Social Security, but it cost, at this point anyway, $105 a month for Medicare. And if you're low income, Medicaid will help pay some of that or all of that. The state will help you out. So for the people that are making not that much money on Social Security or disability, their insurance costs them $105, and then they have to pay the 20% that Medicare doesn't cover. And if they could afford it, they get a Medicare Advantage program that used to be very, very cheap insurance that is now, at least for me, $43 a month. So that's $105 plus 43, which is $148. And as of January 1st, for my prescription plan that was free, I'll be paying $95 on top of $148. And that's per person. For the first time in my life, I'm thankful that I'm not married, that I've never been married, and that I don't have children. I always did want to be married and have children and be a provider. And that's why I worked so hard for 46 years. So, you see, there are people of the mindset that think that it's like welfare. These people on disability, no, we're getting the money that we paid in all of our working years. The federal government wants to limit those years by raising the prices and either killing us off, or, and this is the big thing, I think it's also an effort to make you, to force you to sign up for Obamacare, so that Obamacare becomes successful. And I'll tell you right now, I'll die before I sign up for Obamacare. Because I know, first of all, I don't want anything to do with socialized medicine. The waiting lines already for people on Obamacare are horrendous. In other words, waiting to be seen by a doctor. And it's supposed to be cheaper, but you know darn well as I do, that the prices are going to go up and up and up. And the people won't be able to afford it. And if you're on Medicare and then drop it, there's a waiting period to get back on. And you have to pay several $100s, from what I understand, from what I've been told, to get back on Medicare. So, that's some of the things that I wanted to tell you before.
The elections are coming. The elections are coming. Quick, everybody, the elections are coming. The elections are coming.
Whoa, slow down, me man. What's happened? Have you flipped your lid? We know the elections are coming.
But you don't understand. Look, in the tower. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
What on earth are you talking about, boy?
The tower. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
Get down off that horse and explain why you're running through the streets, screaming that the elections are coming. We all know the elections are coming.
But you don't understand, sir. The elections. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
Now just what are you talking about?
There's 2 lanterns in the tower. That means they're coming by sea, overseas, to vote illegally. If there was 1 light in the tower, that would mean that United States citizens are doing the voting. But there are 2, and that means that illegal aliens are doing the bulk of the voting, and the Republicans are going to lose the election if we don't take action. Don't you see?
Aye, me laddie, I've got you straight now. Mount that beast and get out and spread the word. The elections are coming, and we must make sure that illegal aliens do not vote.
The elections are coming. The elections are coming. Get out and vote. The elections are coming. The elections are coming.
This message was brought to you by Freedom in America Radio Network.
Freedom in America Radio, fighting for our freedoms around the globe. Freedom in America Radio, freedom in America Radio, freedom in America.
All right, I have an update on my Medicare Advantage program. I told you in the beginning of the show that they were going to start charging me not only the $43 a month that I pay, but an additional $95 for prescription plan that I used to pay $0 for. Now, I'd pay $265 per prescription for generics. So I get this letter in the mail today, evidently because I called on Friday and said, there's no way I could afford that. You know, that's $138 a month. So I get this letter. Dear William, thank you for your continued membership with, and it names the company. Each year we receive our plan offerings to ensure we are providing the best possible benefits and service to our members. Our top priority is to offer plans that help improve and maintain your health and well-being. As a result, we have some new and exciting plan offerings for 2015. Your current plan, and it names it, 0 deductible for prescriptions, will not be offered in 2015. Yeah, they already told me that. It's going to cost $95. But rest assured, we've got you covered. We are pleased to be able to move you to a similar plan, and then it names the similar plan. You do not need to call us or fill out any forms. You are already enrolled for 2015 and will have no interruption in your plan coverage. This plan provides peace of mind with many of the same benefits you currently have and rely on, including, and then it goes off and tells you what's included. All right? So, I think you all know me well enough by now that I immediately picked up the phone while sitting on the porch watching the deer and drinking a coffee. And I picked up the phone. I have a phone out there. I picked up the phone and I called them. And I said, what's this new plan you enrolled me in? And they said, great news. Everything's going up. But it's not going to cost you $95 for prescription a month and $43 a month. That's $138. This plan is going to cost you $129 a month. Like they don't get it that I was paying $43 a month. And the good news is that I won't be paying $138. I'll be paying $129. So I said, okay. Are there other plans available? Oh, let me check. Like they didn't know. Put me on hold. Several minutes later, the gal comes back on. Sweet girl comes back on. And she said, yeah, actually, we have a plan that cost nothing a month. $0 a month. That's what I was originally on. And you will pay $10 for your primary care physician, which is what I pay now. $35 for your specialist, which right now I pay $25. So that didn't bother me. And I have currently $1,350 deductible, which was going to be raised to $2,500. Under this plan, it's $190 a day for the first 7 days. After that, it's free. That's doable because I haven't been hospitalized in years. And then emergency room visit went from $95 down to $65, and if you're admitted, there's no $65 fee. And I said, okay, what about prescriptions? And she said, she asked for the 5 medications that I take, and all 5 of them will cost me $6 a month instead of $265. So I said, sign me up. Now I have to wait until the 15th of the month to do that. But you see, it's all a part of the don't ask, don't tell. In other words, if you don't ask, they won't tell you. They were just going to automatically enroll me in a plan that was going to save me a lousy $9 a month, and they thought I'd be happy. but I'd have to pay through the nose. Yeah, I'd get my prescriptions for $3 a piece. Now I'm paying $6. Big deal. 6 times 5 is $30 a month. And I was paying $15 a month, almost. Big deal. I'm not paying $43 a month now. I'm paying $0. I'm not paying $95 a month for prescriptions. You see, the plans are out there, but you have to ask. I use the don't ask, don't tell, and call that a Billyism if you want to. I know what that actually, stands for under President Bush. I think started that. But I'm saying it's just like don't ask, don't tell. In other words, if you don't ask us, we're not going to tell you what's available. Well, I ask. I'm not cheap. I'm frugal. And I'm in a position where what I used to bring home a week is now what I make a month on disability. Now that's a huge, huge, huge cut. I make 1/4 of what I used to make working. And I don't really have an alternative because I have tried to get jobs. And because of congestive heart failure, my legs fill up with fluid and then my body, if I stand. If I sit, I have to sit with my feet up. And I already told you my recliner broke. So right now I am in agony with my legs, my lower legs being almost as big as my thighs. And I'm taking my water pills and I'm running, trotting to the bathroom every 5 minutes. That's TMI. I know. Shut up, Billy. But, you have to understand that people on disability, I didn't choose to have sleep apnea. I wanted to get married and have children. I wanted to be a father. I wanted to have a William Lewis Van Horn III. I'm junior. And I'm honored to carry my father's name, and I wanted to pass that on. At age 57 and disability and a low income, not going to happen. I'm not going to, who's going to want me? So, I hate being on disability, and I hate the position that I'm in, but God has a plan. Now, I have a music studio in my home. It's small, it's antiquated. I bought it in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then became disabled in 2003. So, it's older stuff and older computer programs and stuff because I don't read music. I let the computer, whatever I play on the keyboards, the computer prints it out. But I have a music studio, and I have started this Freedom in America radio network. And, I'm not making any money on that. Now, I may get some sponsors. And if you have a business, hey, fire me off an email, the Billy Van Horn Show at AOL.com. But when they said you need to do whatever you can to make extra money, this is what I'm telling you. You need to investigate. And it is a pain. You're on hold for hours a day when you make 3 or 4 calls a day. I've been on hold for 1 hour and 20 minutes on one phone call, talking to Social Security or some other agency. And it is an aggravation. But if you don't do the research, you won't find the answers. Just like if you don't do the research on what is happening to the United States of America, you will not be prepared for when things change. And they are changing every single day since Obama came into office. Now, he's not the only one. All right? Like I said, this all started in 1910. And it's been their plan ever since. And they call it Agenda 21. I don't know, I'm just guessing, 21 for the 21st century. 1910, 2010. That's when things really, really started going downhill. They were going downhill before that, but not as rapidly as they are. And, everybody thinks, that Obama's an intelligent man and highly, whatever. And he's not. He's just a puppet.
Just a real quick friendly reminder that if you're looking for a good Christian bookstore online, vanhornsbooks.com has 10% off everything in the store to celebrate our 10th anniversary. Go to vanhornsbooks.com for Van Horn's Christian Bookstore.
All right, we're back again. Now, I know I've said an awful lot of things on this show today, and this is a new segment. It's, okay, here's my take on that, the Billy Van Horn Show. And that's my take on what is going to happen. Now, when I said that it's all spelled out in Agenda 21, it doesn't say that the Muslims are going to kill the middle class or kill the people. I mean, they're not stupid. They're not going to tell you how they're going to do it. They're just telling you what they're going to do, that they're going to remove God. They're going to remove morality. They're going to remove traditional marriage. They're going to change the way our students are taught in school. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're going to do the other thing. It's all in the plan. It's all out there. And then they're going to eliminate over 4 billion people off the face of this earth so that there's 3 billion left, and that way the earth can be maintained. And they want to group everybody into cities and urban areas so that you don't have to own a car to get to your job. Why do you think they're putting these rail stations, these monorails, and subways and all that stuff? I mean, that's what it's for. Mass transit that run on electricity so that you don't have to drive to go shopping. They want you confined. Do you understand? It's a part of the control. Now, the rest of this stuff that I have told you are my personal experiences with what's going to happen. And this show is a warning to people that are on disability, that are on Social Security, that are American veterans, the lower income people that are not on welfare but on disability or Social Security. Man, 2015 is going to be horrible. You need to start checking into it now, and don't trust any insurance company. Do your own research. Ask the questions. Because, like I said, if you don't ask, they won't tell. Point blank, it's as simple as that. So I'm trying to give you advance notice of what's going to happen. And then the rest of it with the Muslims and how the Illuminati, the One World Government, and Agenda 21, how that's going to take place. That's my take. That's my take. I could be way off base. I could be wrong. But I've done a lot of research on this, and I've checked it out, and I've drawn my own conclusions from the facts that I have found. Nobody else is. Nobody else is diving into it. Nobody else is really checking it out, and if they are, they're not telling you on the mainstream news media, and that's why I started Freedom in America Radio Network. Because somebody has to tell the truth in the media.
To all freedom-loving Americans across this nation and every nation around the globe, stand up for all you hold dear. Stand up for God. Stand up for your nation. Stand up for your children. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your freedom. Stand up for yourself. Join in our worldwide fight for truth, justice, and the American way. Listen to America's conservative flagship radio station, Freedom in America Radio Network, where you'll get the truth, the answers, the information, and everything you need to fight for your freedoms. Freedom in America Radio Network, broadcasting the truth regardless of the consequences, fighting for our freedoms around the globe.
This message is brought to you by Freedom in America Radio Network.
Freedom in America Radio, fighting for our freedoms around the globe. broadcasting the truth, regardless of the consequences. Freedom in America Radio. Freedom. Freedom in America Radio. Freedom. Freedom in America Radio. Freedom. Freedom in America Radio.
Okay, I am completely out of time. Now, I was going to pray for our nation, but I'm going to let my friend Wesley Putnam do it through this song that he wrote. It is 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. Now here is a very good friend of mine, Wesley Putnam, singing Heal This Land. You could go to Wesley Putnam Ministries at WesleyPutnam.org, wesleyputnam.org. He's got DVDs and CDs. He's got all kinds of stuff and a fantastic ministry. Check out wesleyputnam.org. Here is Wesley singing My Prayer for This Nation, and his prayer, a song that he wrote, Heal Our Land.
Forgive our sin
The opinions expressed on this show are solely the opinions of Billy Van Horn and the Billy Van Horn Show. This is Billy Van Horn saying good night and God bless.
Freedom in America Radio, fighting for our freedoms around the globe, broadcasting the truth, regardless of the consequences. Freedom in America Radio, freedom in America Radio.